Now, President Donald Trump continued his racist rant against the squad into Tuesday morning, where he, of course, rage tweeted several things following the announcement of a vote to condemn Donald Trump's tweets against the squad, telling them to basically go back to their own country, which is funny because they're all American. So there was a vote that was going to condemn that as racist. Now, in response, he tweeted this, quote, "The Democrat Congresswomen have been spewing some of the most vile, hateful, and disgusting things ever said by a politician in the House or Senate." Well, I'm glad he qualified, right? Because he didn't say the White House. Just saying, he didn't say the White House. He said, and yet they get a free pass and a big embrace from the Democrat Party. So wait, did you just miss the entire fight between Nancy Pelosi and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Rashida Tlaib, Ilhan Omar, and Ayanna Pressley? Did you miss that? Like that whole thing? No, you didn't miss that. You weighed in on the side of Nancy Pelosi. But anyway, he's going to continue with this ridiculousness. He said, horrible anti-Israel, anti-USA, pro-terrorist, and public shouting of the F word. Now, okay, so let me stop there, right? So what Fox News covered this, right? And so Fox News said, oh my God, look at Ilhan Omar saying these terrible quotes, these terrible things. You know what it ended up being? Those terrible quotes and things? Basically, Ilhan Omar quoting Donald Trump. I'm not kidding. Okay, so ridiculous, right? But he continues, among the many other terrible things, and the petrified Dems run for the hills. Well, he got that sort of right, because Democrats always run for the hills. Why isn't House voting to rebuke the filthy and hate-laced things that they have said? Because they are the radical left, and the Democrats are afraid to take them on. Sad. No. See, Democrats, the Democratic Party, corporate establishment, more specifically, hates the progressive wing. They hate the progressives, and they're always trying to undermine them, always trying to attack them, minimize them. He knows absolutely nothing. But there is so much hypocrisy here. Saying, oh my God, how dare you say these terrible things? Like what, that Donald Trump's a racist? That's because he is a racist. But this is a man who calls women pigs and dogs. Very misogynistic as well. Calls Mexicans rapists and criminals. In fact, that's what he kicked off his entire campaign on. And there is a problem. They're called Muslims. I mean, come on. Not only that, but he talks about swearing, right? The guy swears all the time at his campaign rallies. I don't care, actually. I don't care about the swearing, right? Whatever, right? I swear all the time. So, just not when I'm on air. And so I don't really care about that. But then he says, oh, I can't believe she would swear. When she said, Ilhan Omar specifically, impeach the MFer. Well, you say worse at your rallies. Seriously, you've got no leg to stand on. Not only that, but of course, I love how they said, oh, the squad, they're pro-terrorists. They're pro-terrorists. Really? Pro-terror? Are you sure? Because remember, Donald Trump is a guy, and as well as Jared Kushner, the Trump administration loves Mohammed bin Salman. Mohammed bin Salman is the Saudi prince who literally ordered the murder of a Washington Post journalist. And Saudi Arabia itself, you're a supporter of Saudi Arabia, but you're supporting terrorists. Literally, they have spread one of the most violent strains of radical Islam in the Middle East. You want to talk about, oh, no, they're pro-terrorist. No, you're pro-terrorist. I mean, come on, man. Not only that, but still, you have, I mean, recently news came out. Well, maybe not recently, because we've known this for a while. But the whole Jeffrey Epstein thing is back, and Donald Trump has been a known associate of Jeffrey Epstein. He's been to, some of his parties before. the cocaine, fueled parties where he would fly in 28 girls, some of them very young, some of them children, from what I read, for just him and Epstein to enjoy. One of the guests said, I didn't know their ages. I could have been 14, look 24. I don't know. I did some things that I'm not proud of. That was one of the guests. So, yeah, you want to talk about, oh no, how terrible these people are. As he's talking about the squad. No, pure projection. Pure projection. You want to call these women disgusting? Take a seat. You know what? You know what's funny? You know what racists hate more than people of other colors and ethnicities? Being called a racist. Nothing gets them into a white-hot, frothing fury than being called a racist. I mean, look, if you're saying that people, if you're telling American citizens, because they are a different ethnicity, to go back to their country, that's racist. I mean, nobody tells, and this is the thing. You want to say, oh, that's not racist at all. What are you talking about? If you hate this country, you should leave. Nobody tells a white person to do that. I mean, nobody tells me that. Oh, you hate America. Well, why don't you go back to Germany? Why don't you go back to Austria? Nobody says that. Why don't you go back to the Netherlands if you hate it here? Nobody said. It is a specifically targeted racist attack towards people of color. That's what it is. Not only that, but it's also straight up white nationalism. And yet here we are, we're having a conversation whether or not Donald Trump's a racist. He is, and I can't stand it. And by the way, he has to be the victim of everything. Again, he can unleash the most vicious attacks against other people. But when called out, he's the victim. Oh my God, I can't believe they're attacking me. Disgusting. How disgusting. Terrible. Terrorist, pro-terrorist, anti-USA, anti-American. Look, if you were offended by this, by the way, when people call out racism for what it is, which this is a very clear example of, if you're offended by this, maybe you ought to take a step back and examine why.